Welcome into College Corner, getting into my favorite college basketball plays for Wednesday. We've got a pretty solid slate here, a lot of games to get to. Recording this real early here, so I have a select few that we'll look at, some of the biggest games on the slate. Quick recap, Saturday, 1-3, man. We got Texas Tech at plus 7.5, lost by 8, and then Cam Spencer left the game early for UConn in a big blowout over Marquette. Had 14 points, we needed 15. 3 plays here, expecting a bounce back. These are all sides I'm going to in these spots. And guys, if you guys are looking for more college basketball plays or you just want to talk college hoops, my Twitter account is down below. We're also live here on YouTube every single day at noon during the week. I'm also running spaces on our Twitter, talking and previewing the full slate. So drop me a follow there, and we can talk so much more when it comes to college hoops. But if you guys enjoy today's video, be getting some value, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Let's jump into these plays for Wednesday. First, we head to the ACC. I find myself betting on this Georgia Tech team a little bit too often here, but I'm going to take another shot at them at plus 7.5 at home against Clemson. Now, this is a Clemson team that they did beat back in, I believe it was mid-January, went to overtime, 93-90. They won that game. Big reason why they won is they shot very efficiently from 3. And I expect them to do that at a pretty high level in this matchup as well, because Clemson over the course of the season has struggled defending the 3. What are they ranked? 225th in three-point defense. Their opponents are shooting nearly 35% from deep, so should expect to see an efficient shooting night for Georgia Tech. Not something you typically see from them. They're not a super efficient shooting team, but they do take a lot of threes. Well over 40% of their shots are from 3, so that's a pretty high volume compared to the rest of the country. This is an area that they will look to attack in this particular matchup. Now, as much as Tech isn't super efficient on offense, they are a very good defense. You know, look at their defensive metrics. They're a top 33-point defense, and those are guys like Girard and Hunter that are high-volume three-point shooters for Clemson who do take a decent volume of threes as well, and they're pretty good against the 2 as well. Their opponents are shooting about 49%. The big question mark, and will be the difference in staying in this game and staying inside the number here at home, is being able to cover a 7.5-point spread with a team that has kind of struggled defensive glass-wise. PJ Hall for Clemson has the opportunity to put together a big game here. If you're looking to play any player props, his PRAs is probably not a bad play, because this is where Georgia Tech has had some struggles keeping opponents away from those second chance opportunities. But if they're scoring efficiently enough and they're defending the field like they have been this season, I still think they're getting a little bit of disrespect here, getting this many points at home at 7.5. So give me the home dog here. Now let's go to the A10. I don't think we've talked about the A10 at all on the YouTube here. This conference has had some really quality teams this year. No one better, really. I would say right now, Dayton has been the best team in the conference. I like Dayton. They got George Mason here. They're a very short favorite. I'd take them on the money line or -1.5, -2. But the Flyers, one of the most efficient three-point shooting teams in the entire country. They're shooting 39% from 3. That's the 7th most efficient three-point offense in all of college basketball. Now, you're also looking at this offense. Not only do they shoot it really well from 3, they take a lot of them. 44.2% of their shots are from 3. I believe, 32nd in the country. So this is a team that's taking a lot of threes, shooting it very efficiently, and they play this George Mason team that's really struggled defending the 3 as well. They have opponents shooting almost 35%. They rank 239th in three-point defense, so this plays right into the hands of this Dayton offense. And what I do see as well, you look at this George Mason defense, they don't defend the 3 well, but they're a very good interior defense. They can keep you away from scoring points and getting to the rim, but teams, as a result, aren't really attacking the rim against them because they've defended it so well. So Dayton will be happy to take these threes where they can shoot it very, very efficiently. So expect a high three-point volume from Dayton. Some of these defenses can push you off the line. George Mason is pushing you to it, and that's not a good formula when you're trying to defend this Dayton offense that's been very efficient, like I mentioned. The biggest issue for Dayton in this game, and will decide whether or not they win this matchup, is rebounding. George Mason has the advantage offensive and defensive glass. Now, I don't think Dayton will need to offensive rebound well, because I think they'll be super efficient offensively. It'll be the defensive side where they've got their problems. But very strong defense. Like, even in some of these second chance opportunities, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be fine in the bottom of the bucket, because Dayton is a good defense. Top 60 in both 2-point and 3-point defense. Their 3-point defense, I believe, is like top 30 in the country, actually. Super efficient, and they're also 4th in opponent free throw rate, which is great because this George Mason team scores at all 3 levels. They get to the line, they can score from 2 or from 3. They don't really have an area on the floor that they look to score the most. Very balanced. So this is exactly what we want to see. a Dayton team that really doesn't have any weaknesses when it comes to defending the field. Rebounding is the problem, but I think they make up for that with how good they are defensively. So I think it's a short favorite here and a really good matchup for their offense. I'll take them on the money line, which you can grab right now at about -135. Finally, going to the Big Ten, 3 different conferences here. I'm going to take the bait. Nebraska, money line against Indiana. This Nebraska team, I think I've gotten burned by them already this year, maybe taking them on the road, but they are brutal on the road. They have, what was the last road win they had? I think it was K-State in December was the last time, and their only road win of the season. They're putrid on the road. But they did win the previous matchup with Indiana by 16 at home. Now they go on the road, going to Bloomington, and they find themselves in basically a pick'em spot here. Actually, a short dog. You can grab them, I think, -108 or so right now, but not all the books have put out their prices. Again, guys, if you see any of these lines move and still want to know if you should bet them, ask me down below in the comment section, or you can shoot me a message on Twitter as well. But the reason that I'm willing to back this Nebraska team, even though their road struggles are well documented, and I do think everybody will probably want to play Nebraska with how short this line is because Indiana has not been great, but perfect matchup for this team. Like I just can't put together a better opportunity for Nebraska to pick up a road win than facing Indiana. This is a team that just matches up with them perfectly. So really high volume 3-point shooting team, Nebraska. And what I like is that you've got them taking 44% of their shots from three. And Indiana's a team that has great size with Ware and Renault. They defend the interior and the rim really well, but as a result, teams are taking a lot of threes against them, and they're not defending the three well at all. They're ranked 210th in three-point defense. So this Nebraska team is happy to settle for those three-point shots and those three-point opportunities, and we just don't see Indiana playing well enough on the outside. Because you have the problem is Nebraska, they can spread you out. They have a number of guys, even at the forward spots, that can shoot from three and shoot efficiently. So it's going to be a struggle to defend Nebraska with guys like Ware and Renault having to play away from the key. And you look at the speed in which Nebraska can play with, I think it gives them some fits here. So going to the defensive side, Indiana scores in two ways. They're either going to, like I said, Ware and Renault are the guys that are getting the ball a ton. They're either going to attack the rim and score in the interior, where they're getting almost 59% of their points from two, which is 13th in the country I'm seeing, and their free throw rate, top 20 in the country. So they're very good in these two areas. They don't take any threes. This is where they look to attack, and it just plays right into the hands of Nebraska defensively. 28th in opponent free throw rate, so top 30 team defensively there. They're also 19th in two-point defense. Not only can they spread you out offensively, they can actually still man up and play inside and defend really well. Their opponents are shooting 45.1% from two. Top 20 in the country. So perfect here. Defensively, they keep you off the line, defend without fouling, defend the interior well, and they're going to score from three where Indiana just really doesn't have answers. There's no real advantage here rebounding-wise. Both these teams aren't great offensive or defensive glass, so don't see a big matchup problem there. I get Nebraska's road struggles, but I have to back them in this spot. Just the way that I look at games and bet on games, it just plays way too well into the handicap for me. So give me them on the money line. All right, those are 3 early looks into the Wednesday college basketball slate. Again, guys, if you are looking for more, drop me a follow on Twitter. I'll have more plays here for you. And then we'll also be running our spaces as well tomorrow at 5 Eastern time. We're live on our spaces. Anybody that has plays for the Wednesday slate can come pitch it on the Twitter. So again, drop me a follow there, and we'll be dropping that at 5 p.m. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.